you because it just died. So anyway, I've seen a few of the old timers here. Most of my generation that are in their whatever age that is anymore. But anyway, most of my cohorts, if you will, like Leroy Watkins and Ken Applegate. Now Melissa's here today. Where are you, Melissa? There you are. Okay, we used to eat there all the time. That was really a highlight for my wife. This is my wife Martha down here on the front row, and my daughter Karen, who managed, when her and her sister were going to Stevens, they managed the graveyard shift at the Pancake House 24 hours a day. So she could tell you stories that probably might be X-rated. I have a story also how my name Poor Ken came about. We were brainstorming. My brother was always known as Lonesome Dale. And so we had a guy by the name of Paul Eisterhold. Has anyone ever known him here? Paul Eisterhold. More fun. Anyway, we were brainstorming one day, and I said something like, well, you know, Lonesome Dale gets all the attention. We all kind of need a nickname. And Paul said something like, yeah, Poor Ken. I said, that's my name. And so we adopted that, if you will. And then Paul said, yeah, but I have More Fun. I said, that's your name, More Fun. Anyone remember More Fun? You said you did. Okay. So within about a year or so, I was getting my driver's license renewed out on Route B. I don't know if you remember when that was out on Route B. And I went up to the window and said, I want to renew my license, driver's license, you know. And so she's typing out, Poor Ken, you know. I said, I'm Ken Gebhardt. She said, no, everybody knows you as Poor Ken. I said, go figure. You know, what can I do? I sold out, I went to auction school in 1982 and sold out all the businesses in the 80s. And we kind of semi-retired to Dallas, Texas, because our daughter was there in the real estate business and doing quite well, and I think she needed somebody to carry her bags or something. But anyway, I was getting some teeth implants. This was in very early days in 1986 or something like that, 87. And you know, in those days you went under anesthesia or whatever. So I had to show my driver's license that said Poor Ken. And the doctor looked at it and he said, is that as in Poor Ken and Lonesome Dale, Columbia, Missouri? Here's a story. He said, I went to school at Westminster in Fulton. We used to hang out there and see if you'd get a pie in the face. So that did happen one night on work. Here I am in my suit and tie and everything, you know, standing at the cash register, and here comes about 5 Stevens College girls. Might have been some of your classmates. No. she don't admit it. Anyway, this girl walks in, I'm standing there, and she comes in with a chocolate cream pie and just smacks me full blown. And then she starts crying. And I said, what are you crying about? She said, I don't know what's going to happen. I said, I'll tell you what, the publicity is worth it. I said, I'll buy all of your lunch or whatever you're having tonight. And it got to be a party. So there's many stories about Power Square and pie in the face, Power Messy, etc., etc. But I've had plenty of pies thrown in my face. Are there any questions? Incidentally, when I repurchased Playboy out of bankruptcy, and I can't name the date, I'm going to say late 60s. That's when we put in, we had Playboy for a while. And then I lost a manager in a car wreck on Christmas Eve out in Kansas, Lawrence McCart, one of the best managers we ever had. And he was a manager along with my son-in-law, who was also good. But they were a team, and when we lost Lawrence, everything kind of went down. And so that's when we opened, I opened World of Wheels there and had motorcycles and sports cars and that sort of thing for a good number of years. But sold out everything in '85. Then I went, Sharon.
Well, I was just going to mention how you were telling me about the machines a while ago
Oh.
that you had all over Columbia.
Well, let's talk about, Jax remembers, at one time we, you know when these, where the
Pinball, but those Atari machines, Atari tennis,
Pong?
Pong. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Pong machines, or you go to
Very
a
high-tech
bar and they
video
had a
games.
Pong machine. Well, I had 20 of those around the local bars, and they made more money than all the restrooms. Well, they were a competitive game, you know, you had a partner on the other side, you know, boy, they just put quarter after quarter after quarter. In fact, the one at Jack's was always about the fullest. That in 21, was it 2100 out in Crossroads? That was a hot spot too. But anyway, yeah, we had a number of businesses. Does anyone remember Street Treats? These, they were kind of like golf carts that went around to all the ball games. That was my deal, and had like a dozen of those. And usually it was our car hops. If they worked in the day, they'd run the street treat trucks at night to the ball games. Anyway. Well, there's a question in the back.
Didn't you have a buffet at some point?
You're thinking about Heritage House?
We had a salad bar at the Pancake House.
Oh yeah, we had a salad bar at the Pancake House. It was kind of like a buffet. It had meats on it and everything. My daughter just reminded me of that. I see another hand. Who was that? Yes.
Tell about the 4-cent cup of coffee.
Oh, 4-cent coffee? Yes, and that was a pot of coffee. It wasn't
Yes,
just a
it was a
cup.
pot.
And you could, yeah, 4 cents. And I'll tell you, it was about the best moneymaker we ever had because everybody had to talk about it. You won't believe it. Now, coffee, I think, was typically 15, 20 cents anywhere else, you know, 4 cents. Now, Quinn Coffee Company out of Springfield, Missouri, was part of that promotion. They sold, we bought the coffee for a little bit of nothing because we bought most of our things that we couldn't buy in Columbia out of Springfield, Missouri, Quinn Coffee Company. I don't know if they're still in business or not. But anyway, yeah, the 4-cent coffee was a tremendous. Oh, I gotta tell one other thing.
One more, Kim.
One more.
Yeah, I forgot one too.
We had this pie in the face commercials on KOMU TV, MU Journalism School. Okay, after 1 year, they would not renew our contract. That was the best thing that ever happened to us. Now, anybody ever remember the attorney Roger Hines?
Yeah.
Well, he's a judge here and everything. Anyway, he was one of my very closest friends ever. He said, Ken, that's the best thing ever happened to you. He said, we'll bring a lawsuit against them, the university, and that'll give people something to talk about. and I think I can attest to the fact that KFRU radio had more calls about the people that were on our side and the people that weren't on our side. It's almost like politics. About half the people hate you and half the people, he's my man. Same thing in the business world in a way. We were very controversial. So after about a year, it was on Party Line all the time. People remember Party Line on KFRU? People call it Party Line. Oh, I think it's cool, and somebody else, oh, I hate those guys. They're terrible. No. But my attorney always kept saying, look, just stay in front of me. It doesn't make any difference whether they like you or don't like you. That's important to your success, and it certainly was. It was and we raised our family here. They all went to school here in Columbia. And they're all doing well, so Columbia treated us good too. We were just now. I had some firsts in our life. We were the first fully computerized restaurant at Interstate. A Dresselgraph approached us. There had been an article in the National Restaurant News about Poor Ken and Lonesome Dale. So within about a week, we get a phone call from a Dresselgraph in St. Louis and saying we would like to computerize your restaurant. Well, I didn't know what computers were or anything, but they were willing to do it for nothing just to get the exposure. So we did, and that was the days when you had, the menu was about this size, and the waitress would black out a little dot beside pancakes and eggs or whatever, and then it runs through the machine. The neat thing of it was, it kept our inventory from us. I knew exactly how many hamburger patties we had left, or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So it was really a big step forward. The other first we had was with radar range, Amana, out of the Amana colonies in Iowa, developed, or they were a part of the developing of the radar range. And we had that at Old Boy Drive-In, and we had roasted chicken, and we would cook the chicken about 98%, and then if we got an order, and refrigerate it, and then if we got an order, it'd take about 45 seconds, of course, to put it out to the drive-in. Anyway, that radar range cost $2,500. Wow. And that was like 57 or 58, something like that. Now you can go to Walmart for $60.
Well, there you're getting a feel for why I just love visiting with all of these owners, and you're only getting a sample of it. But I want to make sure you all have time to visit with them individually too.
I don't know if you saw out on the table, my Social Security is still poor can.
He's got all kinds of
My
stuff for you
American
to see.
Express is still poor can. And my voter registration in Dallas, Texas is still poor can.